fun shower thoughts with Jacob and Thorne. Red Bull gives you wings?
They have a new commercial that's really sexual. Oh, yeah, it's with the dogs. That was weird.
What?
It's like I think it's like a hound or like a wiener dog. And it's like walking, and then it's like next to a Great Dane, and then like little like puppies are following them, and they're like a hybrid between, like a mix between the two. And then the dog like saunters over to the bed and like opens up a Red Bull, and it's kind of like, ha. I don't know.
Like I had sex with a human? Wait,
No,
I totally did not. I didn't listen to a word you said.
The little wiener dog is like the daddy, and then the Great Dane's like the mommy, and then like the babies walk by, and they're definitely like a mix between the two, and then the daddy like drinks the Red Bull and is all like, yeah. And I was like,
I think I've actually seen that commercial.
I
don't think that's new. I think that's
an old, I don't know, whatever. But I was like, that's a weird Red Bull commercial.
Red Bull gives you boners.
It helps your dogs mate. I don't know. That was bizarre. This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape.
Woo!
Hey, everybody.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Sorry for the low energy.
How's it going?
Tommy and I probably collectively ate like 3 pounds of surf and turf yesterday.
Butter.
Just butter and red meat and potatoes. It was all so delicious. It was so delicious. But there's definitely
I'm like hot.
yeah, dude, I'm sweating so much. Hot. I'm surprised we just like the place doesn't reek of garlic butter right now.
Oh god.
Oh, it might, and we just can't smell it.
Yeah, just go and lick. You're like,
My sweat tastes pretty good.
It tastes like garlic.
It tastes like a crawfish there. Anywho.
Yeah.
So welcome back to episode 20 something, because I don't know. 23. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't know how to count apparently. Today is a movie review, and we're going to kind of back in the 90s again. But we're doing we're doing animated stuff this week. I told you last week what we're doing if you listened. So we're doing Cool World this week. Released in 1992, July 10th, 1992. Has a 4.9 rating on IMDb.
Yep.
Is this our lowest one, or is Johnny Mnemonic lower than this? I think Johnny Mnemonic was like a 5.2. This might be our lowest rated. I don't know. Yeah. In box office, it was number 81.
Yeah, no, this is lower.
This is lower?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In box office, it was number 81 for in-year release and number 80 for calendar release. So, I mean, it seemed to have like it. I mean, number 80 is low, but is it the lowest one? No, we've done one that was lower. This is a pretty low-rated movie.
Yeah, especially because it's like for this year, 234 movies came out.
Oh yeah.
So it's almost halfway down the list. Almost. It's higher than Reservoir Dogs though, so that was weird.
I think that might just because Reservoir Dogs probably had just more of a limited release. This movie had a really big
blockbuster production.
Yeah, I know, and it was promoted super well because I remember the promotions from this movie.
Are you talking about like the Hollywood sign and stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was 8 when this. No, 4, 5, 6. I was like 6 or 7 when this movie came out. I remembered more of the video game, playing the video game than.
I was a few months old.
Oh yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, there was a video game. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I didn't forget about that.
Which I could never really get past like the first screen.
I kind of want to get it.
I mean, I would like to play an emulator to see if I could figure out why I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. You know.
Oh, and the Hollywood sign thing, to jump back, Paramount donated a bunch of money to the city of Los Angeles to put a cutout of one of the main characters on the.
And it was Holly, wasn't it?
Yeah, the character's name is Holli Would.
That was there for a long time too, wasn't it?
It was there for a minute. But that was like their big their big thing, you know. And apparently every resident around hated it.
Which is kind of funny because like they did that, but the movie takes place like in the real world in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. But her name's Holli Would. I don't know.
Because her name's Hollywood, which I mean, there's like that's just because she's the star of Cool World.
Just a heads up, I'm not gonna have a lot of good things to say about this movie.
I don't have a lot of good things to say either.
Okay, cool.
But let's. Did you want to do your 10-word first, or
yeah? Just a doodle bombshell, quote unquote, needs to lose her V card with a human to become one herself.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
which I did not remember that being the plot of this movie.
I mean, there's a little bit more to the plot of this movie that is revealed, but it's like
The main point is she's
but
trying
then
to
what
get
she
busy.
yeah, but then once that happens, then there's the entire like
We'll get
yeah,
to that.
we'll get to that. Like, I mean, with that, I didn't bring it up in my review because I was trying to figure out how to like wrap it in there, and I just didn't wrap it up. Sorry,
I see.
he didn't wrap it up. But there's like a weird theme of like, I mean, just thinking about the whole like just the concept of she's not a real girl until she loses her virginity. Like she won't become a real woman until she loses her virginity with a real man. There's just some weird theme in that I didn't really want to lead into, but I did want to like that. There's it's there.
I kept going with Pinocchio.
I mean,
I'm a real boy.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into.
It's not until I said it out loud that I realized how bad that's.
Jesus.
Okay,
It's not a real boy until he has sex with a real man.
Oh
Jesus.
God.
Tommy.
I'm sweating butter over here.
Okay, so let's go into the credits, the cast and crew and people and whatnot. And I do have a little bit I want to say about the director. His name is Ralph Bakshi. And he actually, he's done a lot of animation, and he's actually
A very impressive backlog.
He's also one of the most influential directors, animated directors and animators for the counterculture time of 1960s and 70s.
Yeah. I love his shit.
Yeah, so like if people like he was a director for the original Spider-Man animated series for like 25 episodes. That's like half of the run of it,
Yeah.
And then he also directed Fritz the Cat, and I believe wrote Fritz the Cat.
I forgot about Fritz the Cat. Yeah.
Yeah, and then also the Lord of the Rings, the original animated Lord of the Rings movie that was in 1977.
I've never seen that.
I think I saw it when I was a kid.
Yeah, maybe I saw it.
But he has a huge backlog, and I actually have like some things that I found up on Wikipedia about him. So I started like going down into this loophole like adult animation, and not to be confused with cartoon pornography. That is, I really want to put that out there. And they even have that on Wikipedia where it's like the adult animation in the United States, not to be confused with cartoon pornography. It's not pornography. It's adult animation. It's for adults. They might have nudity in it, but it doesn't make it pornographic.
Pornography.
It's not pornography.
It's not pornography.
But Ralph, he actually has like his own like big like section in this like thing on Wikipedia, and I just wanted to like read a little like bit of it, of a quote that he had from LA Times. So, Bakshi was quoted in 1971 article for the Los Angeles Times as saying that the idea of grown men sitting in cubicles drawing butterflies floating over a field of flowers while American planes are dropping bombs in Vietnam and kids are marching in the streets is ludicrous. With Steve Krantz, Bakashi, I want to keep saying Bakashi, and it's just Bakshi. I keep adding letters into people's names. Bakshi is founded his own studio, Bakshi Productions, establishing the studio as an alternative to mainstream animation by producing animation his own way and accelerating the advancement of female and minority animators. He also paid his employees a higher salary than any other studio in that time. So, like, this guy is like a fucking like I don't want to say revolutionary, but like he was on top of something.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if you guys aren't really too familiar with the counterculture of the 1960s and 70s and whatnot, the whole backlash, we kind of talked about it a little bit in The Five Bloods, but like because of America being in the Vietnam War, like there's this huge like movement of like counterculture happening in the United States where people just aren't trusting the government anymore, and like people are like they're being more outspoken and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And so like movies like Fritz the Cat that he directed, and then where is it? I can't see it. He did like two of them that were really influential for animation style, that like being really risky with the animation, being like it's like there's nudity in it. Like, you know, he didn't shy away from any of that. But that whole counterculture, he like kind of like wrote, like gave this like entire new like group of like animators like another like another like form of for them to do their stuff in, you know.
Well, you said like Fritz the Cat, and you said there were two. What's
Fritz the Cat and
American Pop? Is that what you're thinking?
Which one?
American Pop.
No, I don't think he did that one. No, it was Fritz the Cat and should be right in here.
Yeah, he did American Pop.
Did you do American Pop?
Yeah,
I don't think that's one. It's not the one I was thinking of though.
Oh. I remember American Pop.
Fritz the Cat.
Vaguely.
Heavy Traffic.
Heavy Traffic. Oh,
which
okay,
I haven't
okay.
seen. I've seen Fritz. I watched Fritz the Cat when I was like in my early 20s. I don't remember much of it. Very interesting movie. I actually recommend going, like, if you're interested in like that whole like time, like the counterculture of the 60s and 70s. There's the new American wave of film that was happening around then, like Dog Days of Summer. Wait, no, what's that one? Al Pacino robbing the bank. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Off the top of my head.
It's people that are listening might recognize it, but there's that, and then just Platoon, like all of the like actual like war movies bringing up but the ideas of war and whatnot. Full Metal Jacket. But yeah, no, like this is like he was a big part of that movement as well. So
yeah, and it's like also just in general his animation style is really cool. Like if you kind of remember, like never seen Lord of the Rings, I remember how it looked. Yeah, but he did also do that other one, Wizards. Yeah, which I was looking through like the image stills on that, and it's like I'm pretty sure I've seen that movie, but everything looks familiar, but I don't know what the hell it is. Yeah, like same thing. I remember being kind of spooked by that movie. Yeah, I don't even I remembered more of the drawing of the female character in that than anything because she's very revealing. And I was very an impressionable young child with animation. You mean Holly? No, not Holly. I'm talking about in Wizards. Oh, in Wizards. I mean Holly as well. Yeah. But yeah, so he's just Ralph Bakshi. I would definitely pronounce it wrong again. Bakshi. Jeez. I would recommend looking up his stuff. Yeah, just check out his website. His website's pretty cool. Yeah. So yeah, going into the writers, Michael Grace and Mark Victor. Their biggest one, the claim to fame, I really thought was like Poltergeist. Yeah, because they're two writers that did everything together. Yeah, they're pretty much like they have the exact same like writing career. Yeah, well, and then I guess Great Balls of Fire too would be their other big. They were a producer with that. Well, they're just producers. Yeah, I didn't see that as a writing credit. I thought it was a writing credit. I can double check real quick. And yeah, executive producer. Yeah, no, they were just a producer on it. But then they go from like doing Poltergeist and Poltergeist 2, like some other stuff, to like all of a sudden like this like weird collection of like UFO abduction stuff. Yeah, like documentaries. Yeah, it's like they got really into doorways, aliens. Visitors from the unknown, UFO abductions, secrets of the unknown. Cool world. And then I thought it was interesting too. They're like and then they did the most recent Poltergeist, the 2015. I thought they just got a credit on that. Is that what it is? Yeah, because it says like in the thing it says 1982 screenplay. Well, I was only confused because I'd never seen the remake. Did you? I have it somewhere on a thing somewhere. Is it like basically just complete copy and pasted? Is I have no idea. But if you go into the writing credits for the 2015 Poltergeist, it has David Lindsay Hebert as screenplay writer, and then Steven Spielberg, Michael Grace, and Mark Victor, 1982 screenplay. Steven Spielberg, based on the 1982 motion picture entitled Poltergeist Story by Steven Spielberg. I've never seen that before. What, how it does that? Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much like, it's the, I guess that would be like the writing, the writing credit? They didn't just put like, create like characters based on characters by, it's just a weird way of wording it. I don't know, there might be something weird in like the contract of it or whatever, where like it's based on the screenplay and not the story. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. But, if someone knows, let us know, because I've never seen it written like that before. But yeah, Michael Grace and Mark Victor. Oh, that's right. I had another little bit of thing when I was reading into just Cool World itself. It was kind of hard to find some stuff like background story on this movie in general. It was really like. That's really why I was like, I'm really happy that I found what I found on Ralph Bakshi, because who he is, like he was very influential for animators. So it's like, it's really cool that he directed this movie. It's kind of sad that
isn't as good. But if you read the first like kind of like paragraph of the Cool World Wikipedia article, it kind of gives an idea of like maybe why, and it's because of producers. So I'll just go and read this.
Oh, the classic producer thing.
The film was originally pitched. Okay. The film was originally pitched as a live-action animated horror film by Michael Grace and Mark Victor about an underground comic cartoonist who, after leaving prison, a folk hero for his comic book series Cool World, is pulled into his creation by the characters he thinks he created, but who he discovers exists with or without him. I mean, that's kind of the storyline still.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the storyline still. During pre-production, though, Grace's original screenplay in collaboration with Mark Victor, written as an R-rated film, was told by new studio head to change it from an R-rated film to a PG-13 film per studio directive. So Bakshi began a rewrite to meet the studio's demand, and then the film received negative reviews for the story, acting, animation, and its unconvincing combination with live action, though the soundtrack received praise.
Yeah, this movie is a train wreck.
Yeah, but it's like, but that's also like, there's something in there that where it's like, oh man, this could have been.
Well, that's
could have been.
Well, that's the thing is like what we've talked about before too. Is producers at a certain point need to back the fuck up. Like they need to like, especially when it comes to, and I get changing things, but when it gets to the point where you have to rewrite a finished project,
yeah,
that like I feel like you, and even like. Whether you take away or add, a lot of the time it just fucks it up completely.
100%.
Like, oh, we need like Spider-Man 3. We need another bad guy. No, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't need another bad guy. Like, leave it alone. But
or even like there could be producers like they'll like watch dailies, which is like the like everything that was shot that day, and if they don't like that, they'll just be like, oh no, reshoot all that, and that's like the director like that's exactly my vision. Like,
yeah.
Well, no, it needs to be more like this. It's like,
oh, like, oh no, you're saying it's kind of disappointing too because this could have been with this director and these writers.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been something as cool as like Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
But like a super dark horror cartoon.
Dude, I want to see the R-rated script.
Yeah, like I don't know. I was because once I before watching it and starting with the director and the writers, I was like, oh, I remember like liking this as a kid, but as an adult with these people working together, I was like, this could have been really cool. What the fuck happened?
And like I think it's interesting is like for us as kids when we watch it, which we should not have been. Nope. Is like it had like it has that there's like these like antics and like things of like the animated characters in Cool World. There's like little like vignettes of like two of them like having like beating each other up.
That's all they ever did.
No, exactly. That's all they're doing. But I mean, it's like it's literally a cutaway from like the narrative of like what's happening with Jack or Frank or Holly. You know, it's like all of a sudden like it's like a weird transition where it's like an old like vaudevillian cartoon where it's like as the narrative moves, you just like all of a sudden you get stuck with like two clowns running on stage chasing a pig, and then all of a sudden they run off with the pig, and then the story continues with like the actual narrative. You know, that's kind of what all of those were, but it's just like I feel like it's a lot of that idea is kind of really outdated. That's an outdated storytelling device.
Yeah.
But I think that's what we remembered as kids is those little animated sequences and the animations, and which had their own humor and like kind of like gross, you know, raunchy adult humor type stuff that we just thought was funny, you know.
Yeah.
You know, like when like the big purple monster was like falling and you like go into his mouth
and you see Pinocchio and Geppetto.
Yeah, you see Pinocchio and Geppetto.
And you come out his butthole.
And you literally come out of his butthole and you just see his butthole.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah, like shit like that.
Super just raunchy. But yeah, I think that's what made us be like, oh yeah, I remember liking that as a kid. And then we watch it now and it's like, oh, like I still like to watch Looney Tunes and like get that type of stuff and whatnot, get that slapstick weird like antics, but this movie has a story to it that's what I want to be watching, you know what I mean?
Yeah exactly. Yeah, because it's like, no, you want to watch Coyote what's his name?
Coyote? What? Oh, Wile E. Coyote?
Wiley, yeah. You want to see Wiley chase the Roadrunner and get hit with an anvil, but you want to watch that 15 minutes. You don't want to watch an hour and 40 long movie that's supposed to have this like plot. It's just
it literally just keeps kind of changing as it keeps going.
Yeah,
it just gets more convoluted. It's like, oh, that's a thing now.
It got more and more convoluted as it went. You're like, wait, what?
Oh, the spike. You got to get the spike now.
Now we need the spike. Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, so now you want to be, but you want to bring all the the animations into the real world now?
There was
I mean, what?
I'm not gonna like say, but there was a moment like when I was like kind of lounging on the couch, and as I got to the end, I literally sat up and out loud and went, "Wait, what's happening?" Like I was just chilling, like making little notes, and then I finally sat up and leaned forward, like, "Huh?"
No, I totally feel you.
Like, wait, what? What? I feel like I missed something.
All right. And where do we? Where did that come from? What part of?
We were talking about how with the producers need to back up.
Oh yeah. Okay, so yeah. Let's go into talking about like the actors, and then some of the like we like bring up some of the voice actors too. Because just really quick brush over the like actual like main actors in the film, most important, like the biggest build stars, Brad Pitt, Kim Basinger, and Gabriel Byrne. Brad Pitt, if you don't know who he is, then I don't know what to tell you.
Well, you need to go watch more movies.
Yeah, one of the biggest movie stars of all time. Gabriel Byrne, maybe recognize him more from like he's in Usual Suspects.
He's like the ringleader, like the main criminal in Usual Suspects.
He's in Stigmata. I'm literally just naming him off the top of my head. He's an actor that you see him, you'd recognize him type.
Yeah, Enemy of the State, End of Days. Ghost Ship. He's like one of the main guys.
Oh yeah,
he's like the main he's the captain of the the retrieval team. He's one of those guys. I think he's a really good actor.
He is a really good.
But
actor.
he is one of those. He's always kind of like on the side. Like I mean, the biggest one I can think of is Usual Suspects.
Yeah.
But it's like even Ghost Ship. It's like. Ghost Ship's kind of like
he's like main supporting cast.
Supporting cast kind of guy, and I think that's weird because I think he's a pretty good actor.
Well, he's one of the lead actors in Stigmata. Like he's one of the two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I've never seen it.
And then Kim Basinger, which L.A. Confidential. I mean, she's a lot more like late '80s, early '90s.
Batman.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
There's Vicky Vale.
Jesus, how did I forget that?
You forgot about that.
I forgot about that. Wow.
There's even a scene in this where she does the same ooh. That she did in Batman too.
That makes sense.
I was like, oh, that's weird. That's the exact same like cadence as when she did
Cadence.
Cadence. Thank you, Cadence.
Candace. That's the same Candace.
Same Candace. And 8 Mile.
Oh, that's right. She's
Eminem's mom, right?
Yeah, Bunny. That's his name in the movie, right? Is Bunny? That's what all his friends call him. Or is it Rabbit?
I've never seen 8 Mile.
Oh, you've never seen 8 Mile? Oh, I should lend it to you.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. I'm curious about it.
It's actually I really enjoy it still. I
also
really like Eminem.
You're a big Eminem fan too.
Yeah, but also Brittany Murphy's in it as well. So.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
God, I do love Brittany Murphy. Sorry, tangent. Anyway.
Yeah. So.
Those are the three main,
and then.
And we also say main because those are the ones you see.
Yeah,
like
that's
the
what I'm saying. These
actor.
are the physical actors you see. And then you have for some of the voice actors. Now they don't really. There's not anyone like really like Maurice LaMarche is probably the biggest name out of all these.
With 300.
You want to bring him up really quick? Because I mean, voice actors are always going to have like a lot of credits.
But he has a lot.
Well, yeah,
he has almost like 400.
Yeah, but if you look up Tom Lenny that does SpongeBob, he has like also probably over 400 or something.
Well, yeah, but I meant just specifically this movie.
Oh yeah,
for voice actor.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because he has like 383 credits, and if you just kind of like go down, like he does the voice of Brain in Animaniacs, or just go to his like top billed ones really quick. But the most popular 4. Go up a little bit more.
Oh,
there we go. Yeah. So like he does the voice of Kif, Calculon, Morbo, and Futurama. Brain.
Who's Morbo again? Oh, the TV host, right?
Yeah.
I am Morbo.
Yeah.
That guy? Okay.
Doom.
Oh, dude, the Doom guy. Yeah. Okay.
I don't remember Zootopia that much, but then he's also done like a bunch of additional voices in The Simpsons for his entire career. And I'm pretty sure like if we were to go through his like entire credit list, we would just find so many like things.
I think my favorite one that just made me laugh is he is Elf's burp. He's Buddy's. He's Buddy's burp in Elf.
That's funny.
He has an entire credit just for that.
That's great.
That was pretty funny.
And then let's go into Candy Milo or Milo.
Candy Milo.
Because she had some surprising ones. She does the voice of Lonette, the blonde doodle or the brunette doodle. And then just go to her like top ones. So like Foster's, she was Coco, Madam Foster. My Life as a Teenage Robot, you know.
and she has about 240.
She has 241. Yeah.
So she's also been around forever.
And she's done some. I think she's done some like superhero stuff too. Like it, so it would like we would generally like write all this stuff down.
It was too much.
And talk about it, but it's just too much. It is so much easier for us to just like have it like just scroll through. Yeah, she does. Oh, and all of these people also do like additional voice, like a lot of additional voices for like Final Fantasy or just video games in general.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like yeah, Scooby Doo,
Last of Us, additional voices.
Oh yeah, and also both and Last of Us Left Behind. Keep going down. There we go. Justice League, Flashpoint Paradox. She's Persephone.
Last of Us Left Behind, is that the DLC?
Yeah, it's the DLC. Okay. Yeah. Final Fantasy.
Additional
13,
voices.
too,
A lot of additional
voices.
Looney Tunes show. Additional voices.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, here we go. Chowder. Wow,
that's
Rosemary Gyoza and sexy lady voice. Nice. But yeah. So I feel like they're like two of the bigger ones. There's also Charlie Adler's kind of a big one too. If you want to go back to him,
he's Starscream in Transformers.
Yeah, and
the movies.
And I don't know who Gazim and the Melon Merchant in Aladdin, the 1992 Aladdin. But yeah, going down just quick into his MODOK in the Spider-Man TV series, the most recent one.
Harley Quinn.
Nick Grandpa, yeah. He has just MODOK and Disney pretty much.
Yeah, he's just MODOK.
MODOK and Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah, again, guys, I'm sorry. This is a weird way we're doing it, but like we said, you should just look up these actors, and their lists are ridiculous.
So he did additional voices in Chowder, Wolverine and the X-Men, Mojo, Camp Lazlo, additional voices. Starscream. It's interesting that he's Starscream. Oh, that's right. He did Chicken and Cow and Cow and Chicken.
An IR Baboon.
Yeah.
I missed that one. Man.
All grown up. Here we go. Like
voice actors never stop working.
No, 100%. I feel like he's one of those. I think if you get into here in the early 2000s, late 90s, he has a lot more stuff that we would recognize.
As told by Ginger, the Wild Thornberries,
mm-hmm. Earthworm Jim 3D. Nice. I am Weasel. Johnny Bravo, Cow and Chicken. Tom McFarlane's Spawn. Yeah, that's right.
Who was he? Oh, he was just
additional voices. Yeah.
God, that was a cool show.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
But yeah. So I mean, I think we've gone down that rabbit hole enough with the voice actors. But I mean, really, just give them all like a look and whatnot.
Yeah.
He'd be something like a good list for like looking up like a lot of people that have a lot of voice acting is like look at the list of like voice acting for Rick and Morty. Because they have like is it Tom Kenny? Is that his name? I think I'm saying his name. That does the voice of SpongeBob.
I think it's Tom Kenny.
Tom Kenny, yeah.
I want to say I'm pretty like 90% sure.
Yeah, I mean Tom Kenny is like one of the big ones. It's like Rick and Morty is a good one. Like just looking at any list of like Futurama or The Simpsons. Family Guy's more, and it doesn't really have as many people. Like it's like Seth MacFarlane than like some popular people, you know.
Yeah, Tom Kenny. Okay, cool. Sorry,
Tom Kenny, yeah.
So I was like, Indigo's gonna be very angry at me if I get that. I was like, I know the Kenny. I knew the Kenny was right. I wasn't sure about the Tom.
So yeah, a lot of good talent for voice acting and whatnot. And there's still even more in there that we could probably we could easily go into and like see how much more they've done. Those were just kind of the bigger names that I was able to we were both kind of able to like find and point out. So.
Yeah. And it's also just fun, too, because it's fun to go through voice actors' careers because then you're like, oh, I totally forgot about that show.
Oh,
that was a really cool show, you know? And then it becomes a down the rabbit hole kind of situation.
Let's move into reviews.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't very well reviewed.
Okay. Yeah. There's one that I'm really excited for. So I always go to Roger Ebert just because the guy is brutal.
He's honest, yeah.
Just little like snippets. Quote, a seriously troubled film, so ragged I doubt if even the director can explain the storyline. And surprisingly incompetent. And that was just a boring one because it's whatever. But there's one that I wanted to read off daysdigital.com.
Oh.
And it's an article titled What Makes Cult Film World So Universally Hated by Trey Taylor. And Trey went and grabbed a blogger review and didn't give credit to who it was, but I thought it was really funny. If you want to have a good time watching a bad movie, you should not watch Cool World. If you want to have a generally good and happy life free of any undue anguish or suffering, you should not watch Cool World. No one should watch Cool World. Animals should not watch Cool World. I would not show Cool World to my worst enemy. Cool World is an enhanced interrogation technique. Cool World is the video in the ring. Cool World contains substances known to the state of California to cause birth defects. Cool World is vast, angry darkness without end.
Oh my god!
I loved it.
That is so good, and I feel it so well. I feel that so. I was like, when I was done watching, I was like, and I was writing my review. I'm like, oh, no,
like,
I don't think any. It's like I would recommend Johnny Mnemonic to somebody
over this.
Yeah,
I finished it, and she goes, "How was it?" I was like, "It was worse than Johnny Mnemonic." She was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." It really was. It was way worse. I don't remember it being this bad.
I would like, if anything, I would show this in a classroom setting for us as student and teacher to
show what not to do.
Don't do this.
Don't do this.
Or not just like don't do this, but like, okay, let's discuss. What did you see? And like, so let them, tear it apart.
Do a little back and forth, a little analysis of it.
Yeah, exactly.
That was it. That was it.
Okay.
Because to be honest, they were all pretty much all like that.
I mean, yeah. I almost went down a rabbit hole, like kind of like seeing like phrases or like snippets from reviews, and I was like, oh, back away. I want to do my own, which was really hard for me to write because I'll just get into it. All right, I'll cut to the chase. The movie Cool World has many problems and ultimately doesn't really feel like it knows what it is. While the art direction of Cool World is interesting and exploratory, it never finds a consistent balance between the reality and animation. If they're in a world of animation, why wouldn't the humans just exist in animation? Instead, we're given this cutout set that is animated inspired to give the illusion like we're in a world of animation mixed with reality, like if this was a play of some sort, that only serves to take you out of the movie. The acting is unbelievable through the majority of the film. Brad Pitt and Gabriel Byrne seem lost and misguided in the Cool World and don't seem to line up with the actions of the cartoons most of the time as well. Many times, some kind of antic happens or a line is said, we have no reaction from the physical actors. The story seems to make up the rules as we go along with the narrative. Holli wants to be real and live in the real world, but then at the end wants to bring the animated world into the real world. With Holli and Frank, there is a theme of desire. They both want what they can't have. Jack's character apparently wants to be the hero, but I think he just wants to have sex with his drawings. Coming from the direction of Ralph Bakshi, who is regarded as one of the more influential adult animators. The movie is a letdown, but I don't think should discourage anyone from exploring his earlier films that reflected the counterculture of the late 60s and 70s, which in that way, I find this Cool World as a reflection of that time more of that time than when it was released.
Yeah, I mean, as I was reading this, I just do want to add a little like ad lib into that. I will give Kim Basinger like a little like nod on how her physicality for the movie. I feel like she watched what the animations were doing, and then she built her physicality. When she became real.
Yeah, when she became real. Because when she's animated Holli, very specific types of movies, very specific. Or maybe they filmed all the live action stuff and they just based that off of her. But she actually does have a really specific physicality that
it feels like the same character.
Yeah, it feels like the same character, 100%. And I was really happy with that.
Well, because like Holli does the Jessica Rabbit thing.
Yeah,
the very sultry, like very in touch with her body.
A lot more.
I mean, Jessica Rabbit kind of kept some of it to the imagination, which is weird to say. Just thinking I'm thinking about that Do Right song
Oh yeah,
that she does. It's super, but that's also like a sensual kind of moment.
It's seductive in a very like teasing way, as opposed to
a big band's
While Holly's a lot more like I'm a stripper.
Yeah. It's like it's on all the time.
Yeah.
But like Jessica Rabbit has her moments. I do want to say though, I like Brad Pitt and everything, but I thought he was absolutely horrible in this.
No, I mean I don't think that's I think it's just like kind of a misdirection as well. Like I don't know if like this could I didn't really look into this, but I was just thinking about this. I think this might have been like Ralph Bakshi's first time really working with like real people, like with like cinematography like that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Because there's definitely like a lot of moments like at the very beginning of it when whenever we'll get into that, when Jack is all of a sudden in Cool World the first time, and like he's reaching out towards Holly. And it's just literally looks like Gabriel Byrne just like puts out his arm and is just confused. I'm like, what is the motivation of this? What is happening? What does he want from her? Why is he reaching out to her? This doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I could like, if you're an actor sitting there staring at nothing and you're trying to portray an emotion that to like something that's supposed to be there in front of you, it's like, if I was like if you and I were in the scene together, I would have what you're doing to react off of. He has nothing to react off of. So they're probably just like, yeah, just put up your arm and like you're reaching out towards her. And he's like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, then also like going to what you said to the design, like I want to be kind of nice and be like, it looked
different. Really cool.
It was different.
Yeah.
It was a very interesting, but also like you were saying too, the inconsistencies of their like, at certain moments it looked like a set on a stage for a play.
Yeah.
And then there are other moments where it was just a still backdrop of just a piece of art that they kind of panned over to make it look, to the skyline.
Yeah.
And then, then the his car.
Yeah, how his car was animated, then it was real, and then it was like a
cutout.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so his car, when he would stop driving, would suddenly become a full 3D car. He would get out, and then suddenly it would turn into
a cutout.
And then he would get in, and as soon as they start to drive, then suddenly it would turn into an animated. I was like, you have 3 different designs in 30 seconds for this car. That's too much. I'm sorry. Like, I don't just make it an animated car. I don't know. This is also 92. No, fuck it. Never mind. I'm not going to.
Just make it an animated car. Like, make a choice on something.
Yeah, I felt really it's like, hodgepodgey.
If anything, is like, in like what I feel like, since there was like real people that could get into this Cool World, like, there's no reason there would be like things that look real in Cool World. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, why does that exist in this world other than the fact that the human exists in here? So now we got to like change the rules of this reality.
Yeah, it's because it's not like with like Who Framed. It's the worlds are meshed completely.
Yes, yeah,
and it's the cartoons are just wandering around.
Toon World,
Toontown,
and then you have the real world.
Yeah, and then it's also like when Yosemite Sam comes over with his guns. His guns are still cartoon because they're his guns. He got them in Toontown.
Yeah,
but here, it was doing this weird animated, they just couldn't make up their mind of what direction they wanted to go, and that got really complicated.
Which leads into like the whole thing. Like there's a clear difference between the animated world and the Cool World and the real world, and how they can't bridge over. They shouldn't bridge over. Like Dr. Whiskers just created this fucking wormhole thing, essentially.
Yeah,
as it could just destroy the universe apparently. So.
Yeah, and that's like that's like a thing too. Are we gonna? Do you want to start getting into?
Yeah, let's start getting into this fucking movie.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh yeah, I do. I actually really do. I'm getting very. I think my coffee's kicking in. I'm getting pumped up.
First of all, this movie starts out in 1945, Las Vegas, and then with Brad Pitt coming back, obviously from World War II.
Yeah, coming off the plane in his officer's uniform.
Yeah,
smiling at his mom. Like, what's up? Mom?
And he's going to his mom, and he got a motorcycle from Italy, and he decides to take his mom on a little joyride with the motorcycle, and then an unfortunate car accident happens because of drunk people coming out of a place that just says gambling on it.
It didn't even say casino.
Yeah, it just said gambling.
Yeah, I did. That's weird. I didn't know. I also just thought it was weird. He's like, Mom, I have a surprise for you.
Yeah, right?
Come look at this motorcycle I got myself.
Yeah,
Wait,
the 40s.
I thought it was, I'm like, cool.
But so then I kind of was like, I was at this point where I was thinking like, okay, maybe this movie has like a weird like depth to it where it's about like experience, like coming back from the war. And I started to reach. I was like, okay, let me see if I can pull something out of this movie. Coming back from the war and like the disassociation of reality with a cartoon world from losing his mom, like it's a reflection of some weird of like escapism PTSD.
Yeah, keep going. I have something about that, but keep
Oh
going.
yeah, but I mean that's kind of like where I was thinking, and then like as the movie kept going, I'm like, oh, that's not this at all. This movie, and you get the Jack's character, and he's like, oh, it's about isolation because he's in prison and whatnot, and then you get Holly's character, and I'm like, well, I don't know what this movie's about anymore.
It's something that just dawned on me. So
he could have died in that motorcycle accident.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but yeah. I'm also like,
it's like Grease. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. So Dr. Whiskers, he's like, he's the one that makes this wormhole, and you see him in his like lab with this glowing object, and the wormhole opens, and you see him looking.
Oh, that's a spark actually, or the spike.
Yeah, and then
I didn't put that together actually till now.
Looking at Brad Pitt and this accident and everything. Cool World wasn't made yet.
No, Cool World existed,
but Jack was the creator.
No. They bring that up. Jack did not create Cool World. Jack kept seeing visions of Cool World, and
then I missed that.
Yeah, so that's a big thing that they bring up. Like Frank tells Jack this when they first meet, is that this world will exist with or without you. It was here before you were there, before you created, before you thought you wrote it.
I remember. I thought he was just being like,
no, like
a
Cool
tough
World
cop.
is its own
universe.
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
and then I missed. So Jack was getting his inspirations from actual characters alive in this parallel cartoon universe. Okay.
Because Dr. Whiskers opened up something that then Jack was attuned to for whatever fucking reason.
To make the plot keep going.
Yeah, because he's an animator in jail.
That is also in love with one of his
drawings.
Cartoons.
And killed his
lover, his wife's lover. They casually.
I literally was like, "Why was he in prison?" He's like,
and then the comic book shop.
Like, hey, aren't you the guy that like? Didn't you kill like your wife's like lover?
You should make a comic about the guy that was screwing your wife you killed. And it's like, okay, so there's the reason. Weirdly put into this scene, like, got it. Like,
oh, okay, that's why I was in jail.
Moving on.
All right.
Yeah, right. I had the same thing. I went, oh, there it is. I thought it was such a weird moment.
It's like, yeah, and nobody is like around him is not like freaked out because this guy who murdered somebody is now free from jail. Everybody wants his signature.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
that was weird.
Very, very strange.
But yeah, so then Brad Pitt ends up being, from his grief, I guess, teleported.
No,
he's dead.
Like, Dr. Whiskers kind of brings it. He's like Dr. Whiskers' idea was to put himself into the real world, and on accident he brought Brad Pitt's character into the cartoon world.
Yeah.
So, which then apparently makes Brad Pitt immortal and ageless because it's 50 years from, like, almost 50 years from 1945 to 1992.
He can't get a new suit.
No,
he still wears this 40s suit.
Hey, dude, you gotta wear the same thing.
It was a good suit.
It was a good suit. I wear the same thing every day. I'm a fucking character in Cool World, apparently.
I'm literally wearing my PJs. Winning today.
But I mean, I thought it was kind of interesting that like it's like there's something about the laws of physics of our reality don't exist in the Cool World at all. Which, and then do we want to flash forward to the very end really quick? No, we'll just wait. We'll get there. God damn it!
We're not gonna do play by play. We're gonna point out to some of the most ridiculous things about it.
It's like what the fuck is pulling Jack into the fucking other world?
He's attuned to it. Shit, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like all of a sudden it's like, and like does he like every time it starts happening? It's like, oh no, not again! But then he likes being there. It's like, what? I don't.
Yeah, he was a confusing character, but even like. Brad Pitt too. This whole Brad Pitt being in this world becomes like the proclaimed detective.
Yeah, well, and then there's also like apparently they call humans noids in the cool world.
And
apparently
cartoons
there's
doodles.
Yeah, and apparently noids are a regular thing that can appear in cool world.
Periodically one will pass through.
And it's illegal for like doodles and noids to have sex.
Because
apparently the doodles will turn human.
Yeah, which I'm almost like, huh? And then also, it's not like until...
The power of sex, man. It's so powerful.
It is so weird. But then it's also like Brad Pitt is like, his main job basically is to stop them from having sex because it's bad. But then you're kind of like, well, you're not... What? Like, what's going to happen? They never really... Until the end where then it gets all kind of convoluted again.
Yeah,
but it's like, it's this really big... Like it's kind of promoted like Doc Brown being like, you can't see your past self, or you can't see your parents. You could cause this paradox that it kind of has that vibe behind it, like this impending doom, but it never really gives a solid. Yeah, it's like what will happen.
Wait, what is the problem if like a doodle turns into a human?
Because you're human, you're here, so then you just have another human here.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't get it. I didn't get it at all.
Are you trying to like? Do you have like? Are you hoarding the noid stuff here, man?
Yeah. I didn't. And what is noids?
Noids? That's just what they called humans.
Like I get doodles.
Humanoids? Oh, humanoids.
Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, I can't think of anything else that it could. Yeah. Sure, we'll go with that. So he's this self-proclaimed defender of. I'm just thinking of Knight's Tale. The protector of Italian virginity. The protector of doodle virginity. That's what he is.
But the doodles can have them. All
they can have sex with each other. They just can't. Okay. Anyway.
And then of course Brad Pitt's in love with a fucking doodle.
Yeah, hypocritical bastard.
Right. But he's like, no, we can't have sex.
So the big plot is that Holli is trying to find a noid to have sex with, is occasionally trying to sleep with Brad Pitt. Yeah. To have this transformation.
She wants to be real.
Yeah, and
she wants to go to the real world and be famous like Vegas Vinny.
Yeah, and she wants to be Monroe. She wants to be this beautiful woman that has it all, and the social life and the clothes, and that's what she wants. Because you can't feel or taste as a doodle is kind of what she implies.
Yeah, but then it seems like it's like I think it's just like they feel and taste it differently. Yeah. It's like because as a doodle, it's like it's programmed maybe, and then like for a human, it's like it's tangible. There's something more real to it.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's all bonkers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. Finally, they Holly gets Jack alone after like a couple of times pulling him into the cool world, and they finally bone. They do it. Very awkward.
Oh, so awkward.
Very awkward human animated. Not even like. It's just like Gabriel Byrne just like lying there and her just like
straddling
him, and like the animation doesn't really look like it's like. Yeah, no, it didn't look good.
Yeah, and there's like this really strange kind of like explosion.
Oh, her orgasm. Yeah, no, I'm gonna fucking say it.
I was like, come on, I don't know what that was gonna be.
Well, the entire time, like the entire scene is very has euphemetic. Is that a word? Like euphemetic?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, all right. With like
I don't care today.
the doodles that are like her like entourage, like they're stacking the stuff. They're stacking the stuff very phallic, very much like it's
up. It's going up and it comes up. Yeah, I didn't think of that.
And then as soon as like the explosion happens and whatnot, and they fall down, and they're all smoking a cigarette. What
was it good for you?
I can't remember what the ugly baby one said. Like
slash.
I was expecting something different or something.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, then she becomes human, and then it's like. It doesn't seem very hard for them to get in and out of Cool World.
Yeah, and so like what?
It's like she just wants to, and then we got to get out of here quick. And then
I think the whole thing is, I mean, because even like when like Brad Pitt's character trying to explain it at the end, it's like humans have more of a chance could if they find a way, whatever, to like pass back and forth. But I don't think doodles have that power to go until Dr. Whiskers opened up that wormhole, and then as Brad Pitt says, they found a tunnel where
they mapped out all the tunnels. Yeah. That was, oh my God, this movie.
Yeah.
There's tunnels, people.
Underground
where you can get to Cool World.
And there's
And they're mapped out by Brad Pitt.
And there's weird clones of you down there as well.
Brad Pitt.
They have shears with red jumpsuits. Call back.
Take a left and you're going to find a bunch of clones with red jumpsuits. Take a right, you're going to find a bunch of horny cartoons.
Oh, cool.
Cool. Brad Pitt, where's this map? I got to see it. I want to see what else is down there, man. Apparently, and then there's lizard people down there. I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah. So when Jack and Holly finally get into the real world, Holly, she has no idea how to be a person.
Yeah,
which makes sense because from being a doodle where you can just kind of run around and do whatever you want.
Well, and she was also kind of like queen in Cool World.
Yeah,
she could do whatever she wanted.
Yeah,
she was the most sought after. Mm-hmm. She was the Jessica Rabbit. She was the sultry icon. Anytime she walked in the room, although the wolf thing, the howling thing.
Yeah.
So I think she had. Yeah, she had that same mentality. Yeah, the eyes bulging and the tongue rolling out, and
Jim Carrey in the mask. Yeah.
Oh, there was a part of me that was kind of combining the mask with this. Mm-hmm. It's like if you kind of leaned toward the mask direction, this might have been better.
What's interesting is I feel like the mask originally was trying to lean more in this direction. Before
there's something about the vibe is similar.
Yeah, I think it's the
dark.
There's
Looney
the
Tune
nightclub feel as well.
Yeah, the dark Looney Tune.
Yeah.
Aspect. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is mask is way better, but
I think it's that adult animation type thing.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I did. There's I've definitely felt a connection between the two.
But I definitely there's also the lounge type feel.
Yeah.
So with Holly, I wanted to say Jill. I have no idea why. It's not even a name of a character in this movie. Holly and Jack. No, maybe that was it. Jack and Jill.
That's what I was thinking. Jack and Jill.
Jack, and they're back in Las Vegas, and so he wants to give her that you'll be the most beautiful whatever. This is what you wanted. He gets thrown out of the place. While literally it's she goes up on stage. He's like, "Hey, that's my girl," and then they're like, "Not anymore."
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. No.
Did you just kidnap her? Did this lounge room literally just kidnap her?
Yeah, basically. And then he has some weird glowing.
Oh, and then since
hand trick.
Yeah, all of a sudden he's now turning into a tune.
When he was never
a doodle. When he was never a doodle. But since I don't know, he had sex with a doodle, he's been tainted. It's an STD.
It's an STD, right? But then they these weird little let's call them blips start happening in so she's on stage doing a random song number.
I think it's a Marilyn Monroe song.
Yeah, I think it is too.
It was one that she was talking with that she was doing when Frank showed up, wasn't it?
Yeah, when you first have their first interaction.
Yeah.
Well, she's doing a Marilyn Monroe number, and then in the middle of it, there's these blips happening, and both her and Jack, right? Yeah, Jack, start blipping into doodles, but they don't
look like
they're clowns.
Yeah,
they're clown
caricatures of the doodles the doodle which she used to be.
Yeah.
It's she's turning into a character.
But that was also, why didn't she just blip back to what she looked like as a doodle? I didn't get that.
I think there's the chaos of it. I don't know. I didn't get it as well. That was very confusing. Mm-hmm. But did you notice who the person was that she leaned over and sniffed at first at that bar? Who that guy was?
Frank Sinatra Jr.?
Oh, no, that was the singer.
Yeah.
No, Hugh Hefner. She smelled
when she walks in. She's "There's so many different men." Oh, really?
Yeah, that's Hugh Hefner.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I was like, "What? Is that Hugh? That's fucking Hugh Hefner."
That's funny.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I thought you meant
when she went up to Frank Sinatra Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, she was then giving him a lap dance pretty
basically.
much.
Oh yeah, that was weird. But then, basically the plot now changes. It changes gears again.
Yeah, and then now Frank needs to get to the real world to stop what's happening. That we don't know what's happening. We just
know it's bad.
Yeah, it's something's bad.
Something bad.
And he doesn't like it. It's what he's been trying to prevent this entire time.
Yeah.
It's well, what the fuck is it that you're trying to prevent?
He gets into a fight with his doodle girlfriend,
Lonette. Yeah.
About how he doesn't want to go back, but he has to.
She's like, "You'll never come back. You don't love me anymore."
And he's like, I don't want to go back. There's pain and hurt. And
You and I, what we have is real.
yeah, it was. You're like, okay, selling it. Anyways, moving on. And also, it is that like something that really hardcore takes you out is like they're not touching, and you can see, there is no illusion that there's something physically there, whether it be Looney Tunes Back in Action, Space Jam, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Monkey Bone.
They did a great job of making it seem like the animation and the physical actor existed in the same
picking
universe.
up Bugs Bunny by the ears, touching them, and this,
or vice versa,
or they are being touched. This is literally like put out the hand to touch the chin, and it looks like he's just waving in front of her. And it's hard. It really takes you out.
Exactly. And that's what I was saying. I was like, that's what I don't believe. Like, their acting wasn't believable because I don't think they had no idea what they were supposed to be interacting with.
Yeah. And maybe like you said, since he's never really done live action with animation, it's like he didn't get the memo about putting a stick in front of him with like a tennis ball on top. This is the person you're looking at.
Yeah.
They just pointed at the wall and went,
they didn't even do that for
somebody there.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit, though, did they? I thought Who Framed Roger Rabbit, like Bob Hoskins literally like...
I actually don't know. We'll save that for when we finally do it. I don't know a lot. I know that Who Framed Roger Rabbit, like...
Bob Hoskins went a little nuts.
Will revolutionize this whole the thing, you know? Like, I mean, the budget, like, in today's day for that was like $150 million.
Oh, yeah. No, it was an absurd
It's
budget.
insane. You know? But it made ridiculous money back.
Yeah.
Not the case with this one.
No, not at all.
Just so you guys know, $30 million budget got back 14.
Yeah.
Whew.
Ow.
Ouch. That hurts.
Where were we at for the story?
The bad.
Oh, yeah. Frank's now getting into...
You love me not here, but there. Pain there, not here with you.
I love you, but I can't touch you because you're a tune and I'm a human. Forbidden love.
I gotta go. And then he then has a really awkward flashback to his mother dying. Does the
well, no, because he's like, that's the last time he was in the fucking real world.
No, but they're on the roof and he does the no, and then just like,
which I don't know, like maybe that was like the only way to get back to the real world is to remember your last moment in the real world.
Okay,
because then he goes back to and he's in 1992. Like this movie apparently follows the physics or like the laws of time. Like these two alternate realities have the same like laws of time.
Yeah, but then he gets back and his suit's all busted up from when he had his accident.
Yeah,
like. That's what I'm saying with the whole cut, like the changing.
All right, let's talk about string theory here for a second.
No, too far. And I forgot to bring your book.
That's okay.
But yeah, so he comes back and his suit's all torn up from his accident.
So the fourth dimension. So
I'll wait.
We could go into. It's like you could really like go into a lot of weird different like things with this movie, like thinking about that, you know. Yeah. But anyway, let's get back onto the movie. Oh yeah, his suit's all like it's as if he just got up off of that motorcycle accident in 1945, and it's like he time blipped. It was like actually in a weird way he time blipped. Yeah, he time blipped.
Yeah,
because like the officers are probably like, "Hey man, you need to calm down. You need to be cool. You need to be cool." Gone.
Yeah.
Should you imagine that being those officers like, where the fuck did he just go?
What the hell was that?
He just like fell into a black hole. That's so strange. And then all of a sudden, fucking 48 years later, he's boom in Jack's apartment or house.
Yeah, for some reason Jack's place is also like the hot point.
It's a hot point, but so was his prison cell.
To teleport, but he never got out. He got visions to it, but the actual teleportation for some reason always takes place.
No, the first time he went was when he was in prison. That's how you get introduced to Jack, is he's in prison drawing Holli.
No, but she comes out.
She comes out, and then he gets sucked in. And that's when you first see him, like, sit up and, like, see her for the first time and reach up. And then he goes back.
Right. Okay. This is for a second, though.
Yeah.
So Jack's the blue... I don't know what fucking for.
Yeah, no.
Sure.
So now that Frank is in the real world, and then
Don't worry, guys. We're almost done on this journey.
Jack has lost Holly in the hotel or the casino or whatever.
No, she literally.
Oh, that's right.
She kicks him 6 times in the face and then throws him out of the moving car.
I forgot about that.
Which he tucks and rolls and bounces up really. Like, I was very impressed with that. I was like,
good job, you.
Man, you're good at tucking.
Yeah, that's right. Because she got out of the
tuck and roll, bitch.
The casino and whatever. She got thrown out, and then she ran into Jack, and
that's when we're introduced to the spike again.
Yeah, the spike again, and then he's spiking and she's spiking, and then she kicks him out because doesn't he want to like go back to the cool world to like figure out what's going on, and she's like, fuck this, I'm here.
He's just trying to figure out what is going on, and then she's gung ho about going to the spike and getting it.
It becomes clear that she's just been using Jack this entire time.
Yeah,
like she doesn't care about him.
Which Brad Pitt, what's his name? Frank was warning him.
Yeah,
it's like she doesn't care about you. She just needs to bone somebody to become.
Did we
human.
just find a consistent thing in the story here?
Yeah, we did. That's crazy. Took a minute, but yes, we did. Something that someone said before that actually happened later.
All right, cool.
We found one.
All right. 1 point for Cool World. And yeah, so then she gets to the casino. She gets to that casino where she thinks where the spike, or she knows where the spike is essentially, because it's the same casino that's in the drawing of Vegas. Vinny Vegas,
which is not a doodle. I keep on saying tune because of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. A doodle that apparently a bedtime story that a doodle that got out into the real world and like made a name for themselves and has successfully lived there for all this time.
Lo and behold, here we go.
Spoiler alert!
Here he is,
Dr. Whiskers,
who's
still a
Frank
tune?
And Dr. Whisker just switched. Like, so Frank goes and lives within Cool World, and Dr. Whisker just goes and lives in our reality?
But they mapped it out together, but then so that means Whisker's left out
maybe
later.
Maybe the whole thing is like Frank is trying to like keep stuff, he's like supervising the noids that come into the Cool World, and Dr. Whisker, I'm making an actual the legitimate story for this now. And Dr. Whisker's job is to prevent
tunes from coming through.
Not to prevent tunes, but like to supervise and make sure they don't sleep with humans. Like
maybe, yeah.
They're the guardians of each other's realms.
Yeah, respective realms.
Hey, guys, I think we just found out how Cool World could have been good. So he's there, and actually his name, he reveals, is Dr. Vincent Whiskers. So he's Vinny Vegas. He's what the stories are about.
Oh yeah.
Which I think you really have to be paying attention to notice that.
That was a real quick.
Yeah.
Then there's a long scene of them climbing up the building to get to the top of the casino sign.
Yeah, Frank's trying to he's chasing Holly through the hotel and whatnot, and she's going tune in, tune out, or doodle in, doodle out.
And then he convinces her that's a bad idea, and then he believes her.
Oh no, then she's stuck, as she's trying to climb up it, and so he's like, God damn it, all right, I'll save you, Holly. And then
she kicks him off.
Pushes him off. As a doodle. Key point. As a doodle. She killed him as a doodle.
Uh-huh. And then she gets to the top.
She gets to the top and gets the spike.
There's a whole story where Jack needs to be the hero. And his magic hands, he can turn his hands into doodles so he can stretch them out and grab the edge.
Because that's a doodle super thing, Doodles can do strange things.
Yeah, it's apparently Jack can now change into a doodle on command,
and then he turns into Super Jack.
So she finally gets a hold of the spike. She pulls it out.
Also, very demonic things.
That was actually one of the cooler scenes in the movie.
Yeah.
She pulls out the spike from this casino neon sign, and then suddenly just red ooze starts.
Animated doodle ooze.
Doodle ooze starts covering the building,
the casino,
and
hotel.
Then fucking night of Bald Mountain starts happening, and these Looney Tunes from hell start shooting out as his specters, and randomly through the streets of Vegas, people are turning into doodles.
Yeah, and some are reacting to it, some aren't, and I mean,
some of them, one.
It's like the two worlds are about to merge together, type thing.
Yeah,
or the animated world's about to take over the human world.
Sure.
They don't really make it clear, except for at one point Brad Pitt does say that if this happens, their universes will no longer exist or something.
That's when you finally find out what the big deal is about.
Yeah.
This conjoining of the spheres. I
So
guess.
yeah, then like Jack.
For all my Witcher fans out there.
Jack he gets his hand on the spike, which is what turns him into the superhero, isn't it?
Yeah, he becomes like Super Jack.
Yeah.
And he's like he's straight up Crimson Chin.
Yeah.
I hate to bring that up, but he is
No, 100%.
like
He's
like design and everything.
super extra, like unproportionally large, like chest and shoulders.
Yeah, but very
But then like very
itty bitty living space. But like super toned, teeny tiny little chicken legs.
Yeah.
Little cape. He was actually really funny looking.
No, he was. And then apparently that's what Jack wanted to be. That's Jack's arc.
Yeah, and so then starts fighting these demon specter.
Yeah.
Like I like one, he grabs one, squishes it with his hand, throws it on the ground, and then headbutts it.
Yeah.
It was just like
It gets weirdly like violent, like
in the last like 10 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's like it's so strange. And Holly just seems to be like turned into this like weird like evil maniac.
But she's a tune again, but she's happy about it, which
Yeah.
completely negates
No, exactly. It's like,
negates the entire plot.
point of all of this. Yeah, you wanted to go to the real world. Like I think maybe it's just she wanted the power of the spike.
I don't know.
But then how does she even know what the power of the spike is?
Yeah.
Like, no.
It's just because then it's like her entire like character development is I want to be real, living in the real world.
I want to experience reality. Yeah.
Look, I pulled out this thing and now everything's turning back to tunes, including me. I'm stoked. I was secretly planning this the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what? No. You don't.
Wait.
You didn't want that.
What's happening?
You wanted to be human, and now you're not. And she like jumps on the back of like a dragon.
Yeah.
Thing, and is like, ah! Oh, so
That kind of reminded actually that all of that animation reminded me of like the oil or smoke from Ferngully, like the back.
Hexus.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Smoke. Delicious.
Okay.
That's one of the best bits. He's a great animated bad guy.
Yeah, I know.
He's awesome. And that's like his first line. That's what he says. He's drinking the
that's Alan Rickman?
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry, that's right.
He's drinking the smog from the. And he's like, he's like little. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Different movie.
Very different movie.
That'd be a good one to do.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, and then Jack almost gets like persuaded by Holly about like giving her back the spike, and he's like, yeah, I love you, because he's dumb.
Yeah, because now he's
a dumb superhero.
Oh, you're right, I do love you. And then psych. And then
I know. And then it's like, the evil floor is like, yes, follow into her, and she's like, you idiot, and he's like, oh, that's right, I need to return the spike.
Oh yeah. Oh right, you're evil. Somehow now you're bad. And then he nosedives and puts the spike back, I guess.
Yeah, more, and then like everything gets sucked back into the hole, including Holly. And there's like that whole scene of her like, like flailing, like leading.
A ridiculously long scream too.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, the scream's long.
Yeah.
Like if you did this in one breath, I'm pretty impressed by that. That's a long scream to have.
And pretty much everybody that's animated gets sucked back. Everything that's animated. Well, the real people that were turned into doodles get turned back to normal, and then but all of the animated like doodle stuff that came out of the spike hole. There's so much euphemism in this, actually. It came out of the spike hole, sucked back up into it, and then we're left in the real world with Frank, Dr. Whisker, and the girl. Oh, we forgot about that girl that's fucking Jack's neighbor. She's just
there. Like,
yeah.
I mean, like, honestly, she's the neighbor, and then she gives him a ride.
Yeah.
That's kind of that they needed a body, I think, at that point.
Which
they needed someone to.
The actress is from Seattle, actually.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Not funny.
And so, but then, and then the fucking Frank, is that his name? The spider? Frank, not Frank, Nails.
Nails.
Frank's spider sidekick. It's like, we need to take her back to Lynette, or take his body back to Lynette.
Did you notice he had 6 limbs and they kept calling him a spider and they kept talking about his 8 limbs?
Did you notice that his last line of the movie is like, where's my other 2 limbs?
Yeah.
Or why don't I have 8 limbs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a weird inside joke going on that I don't get. That was so weird. But yeah, like his deputy. Sorry, we forgot about him. But he's also just kind of there.
He gets Brad Pitt's dead body, Frank, taken back to Cool World, so then Lynette can
final goodbye.
His final goodbye, bury him, whatever. And then she's like, wait a second, was Holly a doodle when she pushed him off the ledge? And Nail's like, yeah. She's
Why
like,
does that matter?
and she,
Doodles can't kill noids.
don't you get it? In Cool World, if a doodle kills a human, they turn into a doodle themselves. And then all of a sudden you look over and then Brad Pitt's turning into a doodle.
It doesn't even. You don't see him turn. He just suddenly is. He's a dead dude on the curb,
And then
and they have this conversation, and the next thing you know, it's
he's
doodle Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Like kind of, and he's gorgeous. She says.
Yeah.
But and he's like, hey, baby.
And they get to live happily ever after.
Yeah, and they
Because
finally
he gets what what he wanted the entire time is to be a doodle.
yeah, with her,
And
and they can
that's-
finally do it.
Yeah.
That's the big theme in this is
Yeah.
finally being able to do it.
Hey man, sex is a very big part of the counterculture of the 1960s and 70s. All right, I mean it really is. So that's why this movie should have been in that time
Back
period. Yeah, because nobody wanted to talk about sex back then. And then the final like scene of the movie essentially is Super Jack and Holly in like a comic book frame, like it's like Jack's like the Cool World, like his
Panels.
like his panels. And he's like, oh, we were going to have babies. We'll have a house over here. And he's like plotting out their life. And she's just like, whatever.
She's like, so basically she like gets trapped in this weird purgatory of Cool World, like another version.
She's stuck in the panels of Coral World.
Yeah.
She can't.
With the guy that she tricked. And so she,
With the guy that thought created her.
yeah, who's now a completely different person.
Yeah.
And
So in a weird way, you can there's a parallel of storyline between Holly and Frank. Frank kind of gets what he wants. He wanted to be the doodle. Holly doesn't get to be real at all because she did it the wrong way. But then I don't know. See, this is what I was having a hard time writing a review with. I was like, because there's something in there that could make this movie like more tangible if they could like explored those themes more.
yeah.
But it just like it didn't.
And then like there's a lot of like kind of like nods to like Looney, like Nail shows up and he goes, "Thanks for watching, folks."
Oh yeah,
and
like
then like that, and then it cuts to this scene with Holly and Jack, and then the comic book closes, and then the credits
And the
roll.
the end of a comic book. Cool World.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say skip this one. I don't think you need to watch it.
Do what you want.
No, I strongly
Don't
recommend.
never watch it.
I mean, like I said, the last 10 minutes are kind of cool animation wise.
Yeah.
But that's
I mean, in a big way, if you just listen to this podcast all the way through, you don't need to watch it. You got all of it. You got.
in
all
all
you need.
honesty, if you're listening to this episode, you've probably watched it.
Yeah, that's true too.
I feel like. that
Well,
might be
and yeah, don't recommend it to people. Don't.
seriously, like you said, if you just like,
It's like yeah, like if anything, it would be like, okay, guys, let's watch this movie to like what I mean. Tommy and I just had to sit through it, so for you all, for our adoring fans,
for our adoring fans.
As far as something like that, I could see maybe like if you were doing some type of marathon of Ralph Bakshi, and you want to like do a comparison thing.
Yeah, and if you're into the whole live action animated thing, and you want to see it done not well. Which is like weird too, because this came out in '92. Roger came out in '88. You're like, how did it get worse?
I mean, also you got to think about the studios that are producing it. You know, like it was like Who Framed Roger Rabbit was Robert Zemeckis, Steven Spielberg. You know, fucking Lucas,
true.
fucking like the tops of the fucking industry doing this shit. While this was like an independent kind of like art studio, or like
and there are
from
some
a counterculture like growth and whatnot. They're not like huge Hollywood successes.
Yeah.
Which I think that was, I mean, I really feel like there was a lot of like attempts of like something explorative as like animation, like the mixture of like live action animation that we'll see what they're trying to do, but it just didn't work. But then it's like, if that whole like car cutout thing, was that an artistic choice, or was that you had those cutouts for the actors to respond to, and then you were going to like go in post-production and make all of that animated, and then you just lost budget for it?
Yeah. Yeah, because even like, yeah, I mean, we don't have to jump back, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just really, and then it really comes down to the fact that the screenplay was changed in a sense so last minute.
Yeah.
Can be a huge derailing thing,
100%.
and it feels that way.
And that's probably why the story just was so unclear.
There's there's probably a bunch of stuff they had to take out.
But then we don't know. I mean, there could be also like this story could have just pretty much been the same, but all they did was take out a lot of it was just like the nudity and like some more of the sexual stuff.
Like basically, if they hadn't changed the story, this would have been more like a heavy metal kind of feel.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it kind of like
100%. Yeah, and that's kind of like what Ralph Bakshi was doing in like his regularly with like Fritz the Cat and all of those movies was he was pushing boundaries.
Yeah.
And then he literally there in one of the Wikipedia articles reading about him, when he went to do like Wizards and like Lord of the Rings, he chose to do movies that were more PG like that because he wanted to avoid controversy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe like at this point, like he had this script that would be very controversial and the studio was like, no, let's pull it back. And he's like, well, okay, I'll pull it back, like,
yeah.
So,
But so this is a 4.9.
Yeah, it's 4.9.
Definitely gonna keep it there.
I might even put it lower, honestly.
I probably like 4. Let's give it 4.2.
4.2.
Well, because it's like I want to also give credit where credit's due, where they tried to do something cool, animation that was.
Well, I mean, it's definitely not like a fucking 1.0 or
No,
2.0.
But it's not. It's like I give them credit for the attempt they did. Don't think they executed it well, and then I definitely knock it down because the story doesn't make any sense, and I don't think the acting. Was great.
Yeah. And it's no.
The soundtrack was cool.
Yeah, and that's no discredit to these people as actors. I just like Kim Basinger, Gabriel Byrne, and Brad Pitt are all wonderful actors.
But sometimes you just get a bad one in the bunch, you know. And I think this is just one of them.
Yep. I think that's kind of like all we got to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of it.
Well, thanks everybody for listening.
Yeah. Sorry, we start off kind of womp, but we got there. I think.
Yeah, our caffeine kicked in.
I think that helped.
So yeah, thanks for listening. Make sure to like, subscribe if you haven't, share with friends, all of that jazz. Check out our website for the blog stuff, like when we have reviews. So there's a review that I recite is posted on the website. Tommy saves for a separate review that he writes. So there is a little bit of draw. It's not just you're not just getting the same stuff.
Yeah,
like there is a specific Tommy review that we don't share on the podcast.
And then also if we like talk about like articles and stuff like that, we'll put the links on there so you can read.
Yeah.
Whatever we bring up too, if you're curious at all. So check it out.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Have a good night. This is Tommy.
And this is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape. Pencil dick.
Jesus.
It's the last line of the movie.